Hi guys, my name is Tess and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, as the title said, I would like to give you an overview and a review of all of my tarot cards decks as well as oracle cards decks. As you can see behind me, I have quite a lot. Currently, I think I have around 25 decks, so I think this video will be quite long, but I still think it will be interesting and maybe you will find inspiration for new decks you would like to buy and your wish list will just get longer. So I think we can get right into it. Okay, so first I would like to start with tarot cards decks and then I would like to move to oracle cards. I put them into some categories, like I put one category about tarot cards, yogic decks from Rebecca Campbell, as well as some astrological / animal oracle cards, and then just some basic oracle cards which didn't fit into any type of category. First tarot deck I will show you is this Rider-Waite Smith or the classic tarot deck. This deck is the classical deck and I think that the majority of the people may know this deck. I have this deck in Danish language because I live in Denmark and I have just found this deck like randomly in a grocery store and I was thinking that okay, I need to buy this one because I never had this deck. And I just think that, for example, let's see the cards, that this deck is really great for the beginners as you have all of the symbols on the cards and it's really easy to start to learn tarot with this deck as all of the cards are quite intuitive and you can read the cards very easily. Also, for example, I will just show you some of the cards. The cards are really intuitive and you can just read the messages from the cards quite easily. So I think that this deck is really great for the beginners as well as for professional tarot card readers. I'm going to be really honest about this deck. I am not using it as much as I should probably. I don't really like the graphic design of the cards and I just think other tarot cards are made in kind of like modern way, or I don't know, just the pictures and the cards are literally just prettier in general. So I'm not very much using this deck, but I think that this deck is really great to use as a base to compare the other tarot decks I have. So I think it's quite alright for the beginners, but I don't know, it's just not for me. I know some people who are still using this classic tarot deck and they are just reading the cards like forever from this deck. So I think it's quite nice as well. Okay, moving into another deck. This is a deck called Modern Witch Tarot deck. And also this deck uses the classic tarot as a base for all of the pictures. You can see, for example, that it also has a lot of symbols and it's also quite very easy to read. And to be honest, like this is the tarot card deck I am mostly using. This was not my first tarot card deck, but it was the first deck when I started reading tarot on a regular basis. I just couldn't move without this deck. I was really just carrying it in my backpack and in my purse and I always had my tarot cards with me because the deck is just so beautiful. It's really nice design. The cards are really nice and you can read those cards very easily. As you can see, you have all of the symbols and all of the reference to the classic tarot. So I really recommend this deck for beginners as well as for people who are reading tarot cards on a daily basis. But I think that this deck is well known in this tarot card reading industry or in this community. I think that you may know this tarot card or even it can be in your personal collection as well. This is my favorite deck when it comes to tarot cards. I am using it really often and I think this will be just my favorite deck forever because I haven't found any deck that really interests me, which is also based on this classic tarot and where all of the symbols are just so clear and so easy to read. This tarot deck is really great for everyone, I think. Also, this deck has, oopsie, like a small booklet where you can see the meanings and you can just read the meanings of the cards. Also, it's really short, but you get this message straight from this description. I really recommend this deck. Okay, right now I will move to another tarot deck and it's called Mystic Monday's Tarot. And to be honest, this was my second deck I got, and the cards also have this small booklet where you can see the description of the cards and just the meaning, so it's really cute. But to be again 100% honest, I haven't used this deck as much as I should because it was my second deck and I just couldn't see the messages so clearly from the cards, and I think that this deck is not for the beginners. I would say it's for maybe like advanced readers because you see that the cards are so pretty, it's just so beautifully designed, but I think it's just not for complete beginners. You don't see a lot of messages in these cards. I mean, if you know the cards from heart, you will see the messages, but when I was just starting with the tarot, I had this deck at home and I just couldn't use it because I didn't understand, I didn't see the messages in this. But the deck is so beautiful also from the back. It's just so pretty. When it comes to tarot cards, this is my like favorite decks when it comes to design of the tarot cards. I just really like it, but I am also not using it at all. It's just nice deck to have in my personal collection. So I have this for many years and I haven't even used it. Maybe in a few years, you know, I will come back to this deck and I will just use it on a daily basis, but currently no, because I'm still looking for the symbols and everything in the cards. But maybe if you are advanced, you may really like this deck. Okay, now moving into another deck. This is the only deck I don't have a case here with me because I forgot it at my hometown, and actually this was the first tarot card deck I ever got. I got it when I was in high school from a friend. He just randomly gifted me this tarot because I was really into ancient Egypt and he just had this tarot at home and he was not using it at all, so he was like, oh, I have this nice gift for you. And it was also nice because I heard that your first deck, it should be like gifted, you shouldn't buy your own deck. Also, I don't know if I fully agree with it. I think it's nothing wrong to just buy your own deck and learn it. I just think that it's just this saying in this tarot card community. But you can see that this deck is also really nice. I think it's in, yeah, it's in Czech language, so you won't probably understand. But also just the pictures and the design is so nice. I think this deck, it could be also for the beginners. Also, I think it may be for intermediate tarot card readers, not for complete beginners, but you still have some symbols and you can still see and read the cards quite easily. I used this tarot, I think, for a couple of years, but not on a daily basis. I was not reading tarot like every day, but I just use it in like 2015, 16, maybe 17. I just like this deck and it's just have a special place in my heart that it was gifted for a friend when I was like on high school, guys. I think the design are so nice. It's like in this gold. Wow, if you are interested or if you just love Egypt and ancient Egypt, I think this tarot deck may be for you. But if you're not really into Egypt and this culture, I think that you won't really connect with this tarot. Okay, we will move to another deck. Another deck we have is this Everyday Tarot. I think it's by BD Tarot. I'm not sure. I think so. It also has this very tiny booklet. It's so cute, guys. Like, look, it has the cards meanings. I will show you the cards. They are so tiny. and just so cute. And we bought this tarot just randomly when we were just buying a tons of oracle cards. We just saw, oh, it's so affordable and it's also so beautifully designed. You can see that the cards are so beautiful, but I will be again so honest, I am not using it at all. I think I maybe use it like 2 times or 3, which is a shame. Maybe this deck could be also for the beginners because you have quite a lot of design on the deck. It's also minimalistic, but not so much when I compare it to Mystic Mondays, but still, I don't know, it's just so small and tiny. But I think that this is the packet version of the everyday tarot. They also came in normal size. I don't know, we didn't have any like this tiny small pocket tarot, so we were like, ah yeah, we should get it. It's just so cute, but unfortunately I am not very using it because it's also so small for me, and to shuffle these cards is just so hard. But I really like the design of the cards. It's so pretty, like look, I really like it. So like I mentioned, it may be also for the beginners, but maybe I would recommend this one for intermediate tarot card readers, not for complete beginners, as you still have, like I said, some symbols, but it's still very minimalistic. It's just so beautiful. I love this deck. Maybe I will get the normal size version in the future. We will move to another deck. Is this Tattoo Tarot deck. It's so beautiful and it's so unique, I would say. Also has a small booklet. It's very tiny, so you don't have a lot of information about the cards, but you have at least something. I am not using this deck. I think I never use it. It's mainly for my boyfriend. He wanted to get some inspiration about what tattoo he wants to get, and he just bought this tarot, and it's just so beautiful. Like, look at it. It's so beautiful. It's like you can pick any cards and have it as a tattoo on your body and it will look just great. Look how pretty it is. So pretty. So this is mainly my boyfriend's deck, but I mean, he can borrow me this deck if I want to, but you can also see that it's not quite for beginners. I would also say it's for maybe people who know the cards a little bit, or that they can see the messages clearly. Also, this booklet is not very much detailed, so I don't think this is for the beginners. It may be also for intermediate people, or for, I think it may be for advanced tarot card readers, or maybe, okay, if you are a beginner and you just know the cards a bit, it can be for you as well. It's so beautiful, right, guys? And this is how they look from other side. I really like this deck. Okay, and finally, moving to the last deck we have. This is a little bit embarrassing, but we have this Meaning Tarot, and we got it online, and I had no idea that the decks or the tarot cards can be fake. You know, I was in shock when I found out that this deck is literally fake. And then I was just watching some videos on YouTube when people were comparing the fake decks with the real ones, and it's just so crazy. Like, people are stealing the design from tarot decks and they are just making replica of it. And also this one is replica. I would never ever buy anything like this if I knew that it's not original. I think we just saw this online and we were like, okay, just put it in the basket, and we just make a quick order without knowing that it's actually fake. And then when I look into like these sites, AliExpress or Shein, they're selling a fake tarot decks, guys, like for 60-70 Danish krona, and still I think it's a lot for like replica deck when you can buy a new deck for, I think, maybe like, you know, $20, 15. Unfortunately, we own fake deck as well, but this is the only deck we have which is like fake and not both in tarot deck shop, and we just bought it online, and you can see how it went. Lucky us, because all of the cards, when we are ordering them, we buy them from like mystic shops or esoteric shops or from like tarot shops. We also have really nice tarot card shop in our city, so usually we also just went there and just pick some decks. But this was online from like a normal site, and I had no idea that this is even a real thing, that the decks can be fake. Let's move on. I love this deck, although it's fake. From the behind it looks like this, and it's just so great for beginners because you have the original, the classic card illustrated, and you also see the name of the card, the element, and also I think you can also see like the message and some key points, and also you have the reverse version of the card. So I think this deck is amazing for beginners, but if you are considering of buying this, please do not support these fake businesses and the people who are just copying and stealing others authors work and art. Just really invest in a proper deck and you will just support the author, the mystic shop, and all of the people who just worked so hard. I just really like this, and I think I will just go and buy the original version of this deck because it's so great for beginners that you will just pick the card and you immediately have like a booklet designed on the card. Literally, you see everything about the card. So I really recommend this deck. For beginners, it may be also for people who are a little bit advanced when it comes to reading the card, because you immediately also see the element and also the zodiac sign and the keywords and the message. I love this deck so much, but still I would prefer the modern deck tarot. So I'm a little bit disappointed that it's a fake deck, but we didn't really knew that this is a thing that it's going on. But what to do? I think that this is it from my tarot decks collection, and then we can move to my oracle decks collection. And I think this is going to be fun because I have quite a lot of decks. So let's get right into it. It was hard to decide from which oracle decks I will start, but I decided that I will first show you my Rebecca Campbell collection, as I own all of her decks, as you can see. Warrior Light, the Rose Oracle, Healing Waters, and also the Starseed Oracle. So let's get into this. Someone is spamming me. I will just do not disturb. The first oracle deck I would like to show you from Rebecca Campbell is this Work Your Light. Why it's still spamming me? I can't. Okay, do not disturb. This deck is literally my favorite deck when it comes to oracle decks. It's just so beautiful, and I think that it was her first deck what she designed it. I think, I'm not quite sure, but it also has this small booklet, and this book is just so great that you have 2 pages dedicated to one card, and you can see clearly and read about the message and about everything that the card is saying. I love this deck. It's just so pretty, and this is the oracle deck I'm using the most, and I've been recommending this deck all of my friends who are interested in getting tarot cards or oracle decks. I just think that the cards are so beautiful. It's really great also for the beginners because you will just draw the card, you see the message, and you also have a few keywords on the cards, and I'm just vibing with this deck so much. But I have the feeling that this deck is one of the most popular when it comes to oracle decks, that majority of the people know this deck, and also people who are not really into tarot, they saw this deck before. It's so beautiful and it's so pink. This was actually my first oracle cards deck, and it was really easy to also read from the cards when you have these keywords. Then you can draw, for example, the card from another deck to have a clearer vision or the clearer picture of what the card is saying, and you don't even need to read the booklet. You can just intuitively, for example, see, you know, what the card is saying. So I just really love this deck, as all of the decks from Rebecca. If you are a complete beginner, I really recommend for you to get this deck. It's a really great deck. And then moving on, the second deck I think that Rebecca made is a Starseed Oracle deck. The case is a little bit broken because someone, I'm not going to name this person, he just destroyed my deck, but I think the case is just so beautiful. It's really original and it's so nice. It again has the same booklet, and you can see that it's written in the same way. You have 2 pages dedicated to one card, and this is the back side of the cards and the front. I just have the feeling that this is like a second season of Work Your Light, and it's really nice. Also, I will be again honest, I haven't used this deck so much compared to Work Your Light, but I still really like this deck because I just think that the design is so nice. Again, you have the message and the keywords, and it's all about like the universe, about being a starseed and being from another planet, but you also have some messages which are not related to starseeds or anything. You also have just a regular messages about your life, but it's just so beautiful. I love this deck. So I think if you like Work Your Light, you will also like the Starseed Oracle deck. Also, I know that many people, they were like complaining that it's not like Work Your Light, or that, I don't know, they didn't like it, but I'm speaking from my own experience. I like this deck so far. Another deck from Rebecca is this Rose deck. It's the same like the Starseeds. You open it like this. You see, it's really nice. It has, again, the same booklet. I will show you, but what is different, it also has a little bit of the color, but you have, again, dedicated 2 sides to one card. I will show you from behind. It's so nice that it's so pink, and again, I just like this deck. It's completely the same like Work Your Light and Starseeds, that you have the message and the keywords or the smaller message written down. If you are a beginner, I again recommend getting this deck, or if you want like the 3rd season of Work Your Light, I think you won't be disappointed. I know that those decks then after Work Your Light, they had a little bit of criticism in this tarot readers community. I just think that this deck is so beautiful. It's all like pink, and there are a lot of flowers, and it's just so nice and so cute that it has like these vibes of being like so light and so beautiful. I don't know, I just really like Rebecca Campbell. I don't know like what to say more about those decks, because they're all like designed in like a same style or in the same way, but I quite like it. Then the last deck I got from Rebecca, I think it's only out like since 2023. Again, you open it like this. It has the same booklet like the previous decks, but it also has a little bit of the color. But what I wanted to say is that Work Your Light had 44 cards, the Starseed has 53, the Rose has 44, and the Healing Waters again has like 44. I don't know like why this Starseed has like 53 and all of those have like 44. It would bother me so much as an author that, oh my god, all of my cards are like 44 in the deck and one has like 53. Okay, I don't know, your number. This is how they look from the back, and also they are all, like you can see, blue, and the green color is like the dominant in this deck. It's again so beautiful. I also haven't used this one as often as Work Your Light because it was my first deck, and I just genuinely love this deck. But it's again so beautiful. Like, what do you guys think? And again, the messages are just so clear, but I know that many people again criticize this deck. But I'm not going to criticize. I really like these designs and also the meanings of the cards. I just think that it's so beautiful. Which of the 4 decks from Rebecca is your favorite? Just let me know in the comment down below, or just, I don't know. I'm just so interested in hearing your opinion because I read so many criticism about these other decks, but I just love them. It's really so beautiful, and it's really my style, and it's just vibing with my energy and everything, so I cannot say anything bad about Rebecca Campbell or her decks. I am using them quite often, and I just I don't know, I just like them. So why not? But if you are a beginner, I think that you may like all of those 4 decks, and it's just up to you which one you will choose, which resonates with you the most, which topic or the theme you are more interested in. But yeah, just let me know which is your favorite one. Right now, I don't know which decks I will show you or which one I should choose. Those decks are about animals and then about astronomy. I wanted to start with this astrological decks. So another oracle deck I own is this Moonology. I think that majority of the people who are into the tarot card decks or oracle card decks may have this deck at home, or at least they know it. I think that Moonology has like 2 or 3, I think, or 1 more, I'm not sure. Like I saw some other Moonology decks, but I have this OG Moonology deck. I think it has like 44 cards as well. It comes with this booklet, and what I really like about this booklet that you can see here, that you have quite a lot of information about the cards. You have the card, you have like 1 sentence, like the meaning of the card, and you can also see full moon in Gemini, for example. And then in the booklet you can actually read about what it means, like full moon in Gemini. But the cards are so beautiful. I think this is like the most second famous oracle decks when it comes to Work Your Light and Moonology. I think they are really famous. And look at it, it's so beautiful. I love this deck. Like, oh my god, look. And I don't know what I should say more about this deck, because you just get to know a lot when you buy this deck. A lot about the moon and different zodiac signs, and also what it means when the moon is in a different angles to the earth, or you will just have a lot of new information, I think, from this deck. And also what I really like about some of the oracle decks, that they have this straightforward message. You got the card and then you have the message written here, so you don't need to actually every time open the booklet and learn more about it, but you also can read this Moonology quite intuitively. I think it's also a great deck for beginners, as well as for someone who is advanced in tarot or who just have a wide collection of the decks. I think it's a really nice deck, and also this is how it looks from the back. So this is the first deck about astrology, and then I have another one. It's this deck, and this deck, guys, like hold on, but first you also have this booklet, and I think again you have like 2 pages dedicated to 1 card. Okay, when I'm thinking about it, this is one of the oracle decks I own, which has the most beautiful design. I'm going to show you guys, it's just incredible. Like, look at this, it's so beautiful. Can you see? It's so nice and it's so amazing. Like the design, like look at it. I can't believe, like, how can someone design something like this? It's so pretty. And also what is nice about this card, that you also have like this 1 word about what this card is all about. So also you can see how beautiful, and it's also connected to astrology, to the planets and everything. So it's really great that when you will buy this deck, you will also get some knowledge about the different planets and the zodiacs and just design. Look at it, I just cannot. Can you see? It's just so beautiful. I could just look at this deck like forever. Okay, let's see the Venus. You know, you have the planet, the Venus, and then you also have like the love, but you can still see the message very intuitively from the cards. So I think this deck may be also very suitable for beginners, or if you are not very familiar with different planets, different zodiacs. I think that you can learn a lot from owning this deck. It's just so beautiful. And also this is how it looks from the back. So I really recommend this deck if you are into astrology as well. Another deck is this Spirit Animal Oracle. It's quite huge. I think it has like 68 cards, so you can see that it's quite a big deck, and I will show you. It's also really beautiful. It also has this booklet, and I think you have even more than like, you have like 3 pages about one card, and it's just a lot of information in this booklet. The design of the cards is again so incredible. It's just so beautiful, like look at it. And again, what I really love about this card is that you have the animal and you also have the message underneath. So you don't need to all the time like look into your booklet, and you can just see the message. Sorry guys, you can just see the message clearly from the card, and you can just read the cards very intuitively as well. This is my favorite card. Oh my god, look how cute. They're so cute. And I love animals. I love all kinds of animals, and I just think that these pictures and design of different animals are so beautiful, and you will just connect with animal spirits so much. And just in general, animals are in this world to teach us something, and we are here to learn from them, and we need to really respect all of the animals and just, you know, love them without like seeing any kind of difference. So don't see a difference between your dog or a cat and, for example, a cow or a pig, you know. So yeah, this is my small message for you. But I really recommend this deck also for the beginners. It's really beautiful. I will move to another deck, and this is this deck also about animals. And I will be completely honest with you, I use this deck more than Spirit Animals because it's just smaller and the cards are just so handy. You can just, you know, shuffle them quite well. This is the design from the back, and you also have a small booklet. I also think that like one card is on 2 pages. The cards are so funky, you can see. I really recommend this deck also for the beginners because you have this short message, and you can also see the different symbols or the meanings quite easily from the cards, if you are of course in this type of style or this design. First, when we got them, I wasn't really like happy about it, or I wasn't really like vibing with this style, but to be honest, like this is maybe the second deck I am using the most after Work Your Light. I really like it, and I'm really vibing with all of the messages, and it's just so funny and so colorful. I really like it. So you can see it's so crazy, the designs. I just love it. I just really love it. And also like the messages, for example this card, that you have the message and you can also clearly see without even looking into the booklet about what this card is all about. So I think it's a really great deck for beginners, or also for people who just want some funky decks, or just something which is like really different compared to other decks. I just love it. It's not boring, and it's just so funny and so colorful. I love this deck, and it's also so easy to shuffle and to choose like any cards. Maybe I could also like tell you how well you can shuffle the cards, but like I said, it only has like 44 cards. Yeah, 44 cards, so it's also very easy, and the cards are not so thick, they are quite thin, so it's really great for the usage. Like I said, I am using this deck quite often. And right now I am moving into this Pyle. I wanted to show you a very interesting deck. This is the newest deck we have, and it's Wisdom Within. It has, I think, 88, yes, 88 mini cards deck. It also has very tiny instruction manual on how to use this deck. This is the box, And this deck is so cute. This is, whoa, how it looks from the back. And you have different kinds of like questions or just sentences that you can just pick up, or you can like shuffle the cards and you will get one question or one quote that you can maybe think about it during the day, or you can journal on it. So I think it's really cute as some kind of addition when you are doing some kind of tarot cards reading, or when you have some oracle decks. But I don't know, I think that these cards may be for someone, but some people may not like it. I think it's just quite cute when you are doing some reading that you will just have like this quote or some message to think about it. Like for example this, you see, how are you today? It's such an easy question, but it's so hard to answer it honestly. You can say, I'm good, but you know, are you? Or this is also like nice question. I think like it has this 88 cards. The only like disadvantage about it, it's so beautiful by the way, is that it's quite hard to shuffle them as they are so small. And you can, okay, right now I have something, so yeah, but still it is quite hard to shuffle, and I just think that I don't really recommend it for someone who is a beginner and is looking into some more comprehensive decks. It's really nice as some kind of addition to your reading, or if you just want, I don't know, to have some prompts to journal on. So I really recommend it as an additional deck. Another deck what I am using quite often is this Keepers of the Light Oracle deck. I really like this deck. It also has a booklet where you can see the messages about the cards, and what is really great about it, that if you want to learn about different personalities from the past, or if you just want to learn about, for example, the goddesses or the gods from different religion, this deck is really great, because in this booklet you have like a small introduction about this person, like why are they so famous, or who are those people, as well as you have their name. You also have a small message for each card, and I just learned so much about different personalities and different gods and goddesses and people from the past. And I am using this deck quite often, and it's also very easy to shuffle the cards and to just pick one. You can hear it's so nice to shuffle it, and also they look like this. I also quite recommend this deck for beginners, as you have 2 or 3 sentences under each card, so you don't even need to carry the booklet with you. You also just maybe know some of the people I'm showing you from your history classes or from your religion, or just you generally know them. And also, like for example, okay, you have a Krishna card and you have devotion, trust your spirit guidance, your commitments have been recognized, you are loved unconditionally. If you know something about Krishna or Hare Krishna movement or Hinduism, you also know that the Krishna is all about devotion to him, to love, to universe and everything. So you also have clear messages about the people. So I really like this deck. I am using it quite often, and I learned so much about different people, and just it's really nice deck. I think they're not only like a people, they're like angels, masters, goddesses, gods, twin flames. I really like this deck. Another deck which is quite interesting, and I also used it quite often, is Sacred Self-Care deck, and it's really cute. It also again has a booklet where you have 1 page dedicated to each card. You have this mantra you can journal on, or you can just carry on with you the whole day. You have the meaning of the card, and as well you also have a journal prompt you can journal on. And just those cards are so beautiful. You can see the back of the cards, and this deck is all about when you will pick a card, it will tell you like what kind of ritual or small habit you should do during the day. So for example, you have something like connect with your crystals, so when you pick this card you can, I don't know, do some small ritual or meditation with your crystals. And also the design is so pretty of these cards. I am really into these kinds of designs. Look how pretty it is. Do you like it? I really love it. It's not like a typical oracle deck where you have some kind of messages, but it's really interesting, and I just love the idea of having like the deck that will tell you what to do during the day or what you should focus on. For example, use your hand, make something, or create art. I don't know, it's just so cute. Like I said, I was using this deck quite often and I love it. Okay, I'm not going to show this card, but I just think that it's a really nice idea on a deck. So this is really nice, and I think it's also for the beginners, and you don't even need to use your booklet. You can just, you know, draw a card, you will have the message, take a walk, and you will just go out and take a walk, what the card told you to do. I think it's really great for beginners, but it's also not like a typical oracle deck with messages, so it's also like an addition to your reading, or is just an addition to your collection or something. So I would not completely rely on reading this deck. It's just really nice as an addition for any type of tarot card reading. If you are doing, I don't know, a weekly reading or a monthly, you can just draw a card. Okay, what habit I should focus more during this week, and I don't know, you can draw like a clean your space, and then you will see, okay, this week I could also potentially clean my space. Okay, I'm rambling, and I have from this pile 2 more decks. This deck is just amazing. It's called Voice of the Souls, and this deck, oh my god guys, I love it so much. It again has a small booklet where you have quite a lot of information about the cards. It's also not only like black and white, but it also has some colors in it. And what is really interesting about this deck, I will show you. You see, you have normal cards, and then you will flip and you have this dark side or these black cards. So these are the cards from behind, and you have basically some of the cards in a black color. So you can see you have majority of the cards are white, and then you have some in like black or these shadow cards. As you can see, message of the freedom or forgiveness. And I think this deck is also very good for the beginners. It's really minimalistic. I love the designs. It's so unique and it's so different compared to other decks. I just love minimalistic decks. You see, it's just so pretty. But also you have the message written here, and you can intuitively see it from the cards as well. I think that this is one of my favorite decks I own because it's just so different. Also, I have not used it as often as the other decks, but it's just a really nice piece in my collection because it's just so beautiful, so minimalistic, and I just like it so much. But I think that you should still draw a card and refer to the booklet, because also the cards are, I don't know, you see you have this card like respect, but the symbols are a little bit different on the card, so you still may to pick up the booklet and read more about the cards. If you just want to have a collection of really nice decks, I recommend this one. Moving to another deck which is quite unique and quite beautiful is this Amenti Oracle Feather Heart Deck and Guide book. So this is this Amenti Oracle. It's really nice. I think that also this deck is something about like ancient knowledge just brought into like a modern society, and I will show it. So beautiful. And you have a big booklet which comes with the card, and this booklet is, I think this is one of the best books. You can see it's just so beautiful and it's so unique, and you have a lot of knowledge and a lot of wisdom inside this book. I really like it. So I will just move into the cards and I will just show you. They also came with a special smaller box in this bigger box, and they are so beautiful. They're so colorful, but also again very minimalistic. And I use this deck, I think, more compared to Voice of the Souls, because again it has this small sentence at the very bottom saying you like the message or just the mantra or something you could journal on, or you can just think during the day about. It's really nice, the designs. I just love it, guys. Look at it. It's so colorful yet so minimalistic, and I think this is one of the best decks I may own because it's really worth it. Like the messages, the cards, and the book, it's really great. And I think it's also very suitable for the beginners, but also you can just use it as an addition to your tarot cards reading, as it also had like small mantra or a small affirmation. I don't think that this deck is very suitable to do like a full reading on, as also it's very minimalistic and the messages may not be very in line with the pictures. So I think that you may use the book as well, or just use it for a small mantra when you are doing your reading or when you are just in the morning journaling about something. But I think it's really beautiful deck. It's so pretty. And we have a last pile of my oracle decks. Oh my god, it's quite heavy. This oracle cards pile is all related to yoga and Hinduism, because as some of you may know, I'm really interested in yoga and yogic tradition, not only like in the physical exercise, but mostly I'm interested in Hinduism and Sanatana Dharma and everything. These oracle decks are very special for me and they have a special place in my heart and in my readings. So let's get into it. I was thinking if I will show you this deck or no, but it also says like yoga deck, and it's not quite oracle cards or it's not like tarot decks or something, but it says it's a yoga deck. So I was like, I am going to include it in. I received this deck as a gift when I was enrolled in my yoga teacher course, and this deck is all about the yogic positions. So you can see how to make a position. You have an English name and also the name of the position or the pose in Sanskrit, as well as how to do it, I think. Yeah. Or how to make this pose easily. I think I'm not going to really talk about this deck. If you are enrolled in a yoga teacher course or yoga teacher certification, I think that it may be really handy for you that you can see the pose when you are just learning everything and learning the names. Just sometimes the Sanskrit is so hard to learn, so I think it may be really useful. But I think they only have like, I don't even know how many. So it has like 52 poses, and I think that one is like for each week or something. It's really helpful when you are enrolled in this teaching course. But okay, I will now move into the real decks or the real cards, and this one is one of my favorite oracle decks. It has no booklet, so I'm not going to show you the booklet, but this is how the cards look. And I think that maybe some of the people might not like it because it's not really minimalistic and it's really colorful, but I think it looks really nice that you have a small message at the very bottom, as well as the name of the card. They don't have any numbers, they are not like connected or something, but I just really like this deck. The cards can be shuffled very easily. You can also see the message clearly from the pictures. It's also very easy for the beginners, and it also has so many nice messages, and I think it's really great for connection with the divine universe or your divine self. So if you are into yogic tradition, I think you may like this deck, if you don't mind that it's not very like minimalistic. And it also has designs of many different Hindu gods or goddesses, and I just really like this deck. It's just not my style at all, but just, I don't know, I just connected with this deck somehow, and I was using it quite often as well. I think it's also great for the beginners, but if you are not really into yoga or yogic tradition, I don't think that you may like this deck or that you might connect with it. As I said before, you also have some gods and goddesses design on the cards, but maybe you may like it. I'm not going to say that, oh, if you are not a yoga teacher or if you are not doing yoga, you should not buy it. Of course, no, I'm not saying this. Definitely you should go and buy this deck, as you may also learn something more about a yoga and Hindu, or you will just be more familiar with different concepts or the gods. I think it has I forgot, 52 cards, I think. It's really nice. You can shuffle them quite well, but they are quite big. But still, I like this deck. It's not minimalistic, but it's connected to yoga, and it was my first, I think, yogic deck, or like the first deck connected to yoga, and I was doing my teacher course, so I was just really enjoying reading from this deck. Right now, I will probably move into the most famous yogic deck, and it's a yogic path And I just think that this is really great because, as you can see, you have a guidebook, you have a big box where you can put the cards. But I have the cards already taken out. I also went and I just grabbed this guidebook or the booklet, or I don't know, and it's so beautiful. I think this is my most favorite guidebook when it comes to all of the oracle decks, because you have the upright and the reverse explanation of the cards, as well as you have like explained this basic concept from yoga or Ayurveda. And what I really like about this deck, that it's somehow split into like spirituality cards, Ayurvedic cards, chakras cards, yoga, deities, and I think that's it. So after you will buy this deck or you will get familiar with it, you will also be very familiar with different concepts that are used in yoga and Ayurveda, and I just think that you will learn a lot of information from this guidebook. And this is the box with the cards, and again the cards are just so beautiful. They are very colorful, they are not so minimalistic, but still I just like it. The designs of the cards are a little bit different compared to my other oracle decks. You can see that some of the pictures are like the draw, but you still have like a photography picture, or I don't know how to explain. Like, look at those cards. Like, for example, here that you can see that it's kind of like draw, or that they made it in the computer, but still you have like a real picture or something. I just think that it's so interesting. And you have a lot of concepts in this deck that you will come across when you will dive into yoga and Ayurveda. And I just think this deck is really great for beginners who are not very familiar with yoga, but also for the people who are familiar with yoga. Also, you have something from Ayurveda, like Pitta dosha, Kapha dosha, you know. You will just maybe also learn in Sanskrit, and you will just get familiar with different concepts as well. And I really like that this deck is not only related to yoga, but also to, for example, Ayurveda or the deities, because it's all connected. Yoga is not only like the path of physical exercise, it's just so much more. And I just don't really like when people just think, oh, you are performing yoga. I'm not performing yoga, I am living yoga, you know. It's just a lifestyle, it's not an exercise. So I think that also those cards will help you to connect with the divine universe and different goddess and goddesses. You can also see Ganesha or Krishna, and it's just so beautiful. But I think that you may use this guidebook when you will do a reading with these cards. It's also maybe not for complete beginners, but still, like, if you are new to yoga, I really recommend to getting this deck, but you may use the guidebook because you may not be very familiar with all of those concepts. So just be prepared. You will carry maybe the guidebook with you, but you can learn so quickly all of the words and all of the concepts. So don't worry, go ahead and buy this deck because it's just so different compared to others, and it's just so comprehensive. And Sahara, she just also, you can see that she included a lot of chakras which are connected to yoga and spirituality in general. So I really am enjoying this deck. Okay, the only thing what I don't really like about this deck, the cards are quite thick, and for me it's quite hard to shuffle them, you know. So I don't know, I was using this deck quite often, but currently not so much. I just prefer the other decks. Another deck what I have is Land Sky Oracle deck. It's again connected to yoga and connected to Hinduism. It has a very tiny manual, or like a booklet. I will show you. It basically has all of the Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. You have the explanation, and then you also have a small booklet where you can see everything about the Yoga Sutras and what it means. And all of these cards are related to Patanjali's 8 limbs of yoga. All of the cards are basically telling you how to live in this world. So it's like Yama means honor others. Niyama, honor yourself. Asana is the physical practice or the physical postures. Pranayama means breath work. Pratyahara means turning inward. Dharana means concentration. Dhyana means meditation. Samadhi is enlightenment. And this deck is basically guiding you through Patanjali's Yoga Sutras and explaining all of the concepts. So for example, this yama, what I said, it means honor others. It also have some like smaller like rules. Okay, I don't know how to explain, because I could explain like Patanjali's Yoga Sutras in like separate video, but I just wanted to show you that this is for people who also are very interested in yoga philosophy, not only like in yoga postures, and it could be very beneficial if you are currently reading Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, or if you want to just dive deep into like new topics related to yoga. And those cards are so beautiful. Like, look at it. This is from the back. I just love those cards. Also, I haven't used those cards so often, but what is really nice about these cards that you also have in this small booklet some journal prompts to think about or just to journal on. But when I just saw those cards, I just needed them. They are so beautiful, so minimalistic, and everything is so white, and oh my god, like look. This is related to asanas, to yoga postures, like the cobra pose. Also, for example, non-greed. You can see the message from the picture as well. And you don't even need to think about those cards as only related to Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, but also you can just draw these cards and just see the message, you know, like concentration. And you just see it also in this picture or in this. Also, maybe some of those pictures or the designs may not be very straightforward, but still it's so beautiful. And maybe you will just draw a card as addition to your tarot card reading. For example, this one is very pretty, or this one as well. Also, this is related to asanas. It's the mountain pose. You can draw a card and it will say a mountain pose and you will just do it. Or this one. Okay, you may not even use it as on Patanjali Sutras. You can just use beautiful images and just the beautiful designs and draw. It's just so pretty. You have a lot of explanation and a lot of manuals and a smaller helper when you will do a reading. I just have 2 more cards. This deck is Epics of Hind, and it's all related to Hinduism. This deck, it basically has a lot of Indian stories and teachings and legends and sutras. I think this deck may not be for someone who is not really into Hinduism, so if you like Hinduism or the Indian teaching, you may also like this deck. What I really like about this deck, that you have like some explanation about the story or what happened, and you also have some actions to take, or you have some questions you can ask yourself when you are journaling in the morning or in the evening. Then also you have like a short message. This deck is again so beautiful, but I'm not going to explain a lot because each card has own meaning, own story, own legend, but it's just so beautiful. So if you want to learn more about Hinduism, I really recommend this deck because you will also learn a lot about the culture, about the history, about the legend, about different people. I recommend this deck as well, and I don't think that it's for someone who is not really into Hinduism, as it may be also quite hard for you to know like who those people are, which the cards are referring to, or the stories. But I also think that if you just like the images or the pictures, you can still buy the deck, because this booklet or this guidebook is quite comprehensive. You also saw that it will explain what happened in this story. It will also give you some messages you should take from these cards and the stories, and also you will have some questions to journal. So still, if you just like these cards, that they are quite colorful, but still they are a little bit, I don't want to say like minimalistic, but compared to Divine Abundance, I think they are still a little bit minimalistic, but still very colorful. I think I didn't even know anyone who I'm watching on YouTube that is using this deck, but I just wanted to show you as something special and something different. And now I will just move to the last deck, and I love this deck, and it's called Kali Oracle. channel because I'm just so connected to Kali. If you don't know who it is, it's Hindu goddess. I just don't know what to say more about this deck. I just think that I could also make like separate video explaining why I really like Kali and Hinduism and the Indian culture in general and all of the teachings. But also wanted to show you that it comes with this guide, and it also has quite a lot of information about what happened. You also see some rituals, and this deck is only related to Kali. These are the cards from behind, and I will just show you the cards. They are not very minimalistic, but they are so beautiful. I just really like it. What do you think? I think these cards may be also for someone who is really into yoga and spirituality, Indian culture, Hinduism, and just in general for someone who just wants to learn more about this culture and Kali and her story and everything. So if you are looking for the cards like this, I recommend them for you. But I don't think that those cards may be very interesting for someone who is not very familiar with yoga and Hinduism and everything, but still you may just like the cards, so you may just buy this deck and learn on your way. I just love it so much. Okay, I think that this was it. This is my small collection of tarot decks and oracle decks, and I really hope that you like this video and that you found some new decks you may be interested in buying it. Just let me know in the comment section down below which cards from my collection you already have at home, which one you would like to buy, or I don't know, maybe just your opinions about different cards. I really like tarot card readers community, as well as I really just like to talk with people about the cards and in tarot in general. So if you want, you can just write a comment and we can talk and have a chat about different cards. Thank you so much guys that you've been watching this video. Give it a thumbs up if you like it, and also you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. And thank you so much. I hope that I will see you next time. Have a nice day.